Hey guys, how's it going? Jared here, Dex and Dice. Going to give you another ramblings of an LGS owner video just because I watched something from one of the YouTubers that I watch, Gone Rogue Gaming. I'm sure some of you know who that is. Uh, his last little video he put out about, I don't know, 15 hours ago or whatever. Sometime. Anyways, that's not important. Um, he seems to kind of be coming to terms with something I guess I've come to terms with a long time ago. Not just while I was working for an LGS and not even during my time here operating my own LGS, but just me noticing something throughout, I don't know, the last 10 years or so of just the overall feeling that I have about the geek nerd hobby space in general. But I guess let's just keep it focused to like the TCG world as far as like just Magic goes and just overall in general, like I said, the TCG world. Um, he was saying something about how um, Universes Beyond has kind of like ruined Magic, and it has, but it hasn't. Like I've said in other videos, like I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. Some of the stuff is hit, some of the stuff is miss. Like all in all, it's I if I was still a diehard player, I probably wouldn't really enjoy the fact that you know, Doctor Who is now part of the Magic universe, or that like Assassin's Creed is part of the Magic universe, even though it kind of fits the theme. Um, but overall, and looking at it from like not even like a player aspect, it has done leaps and bounds a net positive for Magic in general. It's brought in new players. It's expanded the IP and all that good stuff, which has brought in the players. But you got to kind of ask yourself, like the people that it brings in, Universes Beyond, like the people that UV brings in, um, are they in it for the long haul, or are they just in it because oh, I like 40K, I like Assassin's Creed, Doctor Who was awesome, and then that's all they do. That's all they were interested in. That's all they bought. That's all they wanted to play with. And then, like, once that honeymoon period is done, do they just drop off and don't even bother with the hobby ever again? Like, once they figure out how Magic plays, how convoluted it has gotten, how it can be, and how much of a pain it can be to just play a game. Like, because let's be real, guys, it does get overly complicated quick if you don't really A, know what you're doing, and B, depending on what kind of a deck you're playing with or against, shit just gets outlandish. So anyways, my point being with that is like it seems that Universes Beyond, while from a business point was the right way to go because it just brings in lots of money, lots of other new players. It kind of breathes fresh life into Magic. If you want to argue that point, sure, fine. I'll agree to disagree, kind of thing. But I believe that the kind of people that it brings in are your fair weather players. They're here for a minute and then gone like a fart in the wind, and that's it. Uh, which realistically is all that Hasbro or WotC probably want, is just that initial like sale, and then boom, done. They don't care. They got your money. You got what you wanted as far as like getting cards from a specific IP. So like transaction is done. End of story. Everyone's at a at zero now and gone. Like that's cool. That's fine. That's a typical business transaction. You wanted something. I have something. You pay me for it. I give it to you. We're at zero. Done. End of story. So like that's cool, I guess. But as far as like looking at it from like my perspective as far as like someone who owns an LGS, it makes you lose money in the long term because we aren't, well, most LGSs aren't there for that quick buck, that quick turnaround. Hey, I've only seen you one time. Thanks for dropping $50. Next, there's not like an endless supply of people that just keep coming in and dropping 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 daily. We rely on repeat customers. With this fair weather trend with Universes Beyond and everything, we aren't really getting as many return customers as we would hope, I guess, from the Universes Beyond thing. So, like, it sucks from that perspective with an LGS, because while we do get that initial bump, that person's gone now. If they don't come back, mind you. Like, I'm talking in generalities here. We got that initial bump, boom, done, that person's gone. There's no one else to really come in and take their place. So yeah, it kind of sucks from a small business LGS point of view as far as Universes Beyond goes, and breathing new life into a community, because it does, but it doesn't. It's like, I don't know, drinking an energy drink and getting that nice little 1 to 2 hours burst of energy, and then there's that crash. So it's the crash that ends up hurting LGSs like mine, small ones and stuff. But anywho, he went on to talk about like losing his passion for the hobby and not wanting to think of like customers as like walking money bags, which is understandable. Once you've been doing this for long, and I'm not even talking about just me running an LGS, but just kind of like in the nerd realm where you're not just a fanboy, you have been kind of like actually collecting stuff, trying to sell stuff, and not really be a finance bro, but for lack of a better term, be a finance bro. Like, you reach a certain point to where your passion for just playing the game or whatever, it does dwindle. It does go away because you start looking at stuff from a completely different aspect. And I'm in the minority when I say this, but it's okay for that to happen. Things in life naturally just progress or mutate or whatever the hell you want to call it into something different on a long enough timeline. Like, I used to think dinosaurs were like the shit back when I was 4. I'm 41 now. I'm not head over heels about dinosaurs like I used to be. Don't get me wrong, they're still fucking cool, but I'm not going to go out of my way to talk about dinosaurs or anything. Like, thinking that losing the passion to play the game or whatever is a negative. I mean, you're kind of right, but you're wrong, because your passion ends up going into like another direction. Your passion ends up going into more of a, how do I cultivate a good community? Like, how do I cultivate, like, I don't know, like a general respect for the hobby, kind of like giving people a decent place to come in and play stuff, because you yourself were a player and you yourself understand that having a place for people to come and play is very important. That having products for people to come by, offering your services in general, be it just selling stuff, giving them a place to trade in things, buy singles, etc., etc., just simply offering the opportunity for that is kind of where your passion ends up flowing to, versus, oh my god, this is the greatest fucking card ever, I gotta put it in my deck and go play now. It mutates. It goes to somewhere else. It doesn't mean it's a net negative that you no longer really, give a shit, for lack of a better term. Like I keep saying, I'm retired. Like, I don't really care about playing Magic anymore. I don't. Like, I had my fun with it. It's great. But now my passion for it is more driven towards building a strong community, having a total just respect for the hobby that made me who I am. Not just like an LGS owner, but like who made me who I am by introducing me into, different friend groups, or, people like I wouldn't even have given the time of day if we weren't at a card shop back in the day playing a game. Like, your passion transforms into something else other than the drive to play the game. You become like, I don't know, the village elder where you just offer advice, you give people things to do, you look at it in a completely different perspective because, like, most of those people, and this is just generalities again, I'm not talking about unicorn scenarios where the person has been playing since 95 to today. Like, those are unicorns. I'm not talking about those people. But like, a lot of the people you run into, like, they are that typical 2, 3, 4 year time span person, and then they're gone. So like, you're looking at them and you're just like, that's really fucking cool. I have a huge respect for the hobby, a huge respect for the community. I have a huge respect for trying to cultivate something that you guys can enjoy for however long you're going to be here. And like, you guys, and again, I mean this in the best way possible. I also know that I don't come off as like the most educated sounding mofo ever because I speak in terms that everyone can understand. So like, there's not a whole lot lost in translation. But like, with a lot of this stuff, a lot of the new people or even the players or whatever, like, this sounds like I'm really being a dick, but I'm not. Like, again, mean it in the best way possible. You guys are students in classes of which I am a graduate, you know? And that's cool because it's now my responsibility, my passion is now to watch watch over you guys, for lack of a better term. Like I kept saying, to give you a nice place to come play, to give you a safe place to come play, to give you a place to come trade, a place to buy singles, or just hang the fuck out for a little bit because maybe you've had a shit day and you just want to hang out with random people and just enjoy not being where you were at, kind of like my scenario back in the day with a shitty home life and being able to go to an LGS and just not deal with the shit. So, like, lots of people give people like me shit because we don't play anymore, because we don't have that passion for the game, because I can't sit there and ramble off a fucking 4 card combo that's going to end the game or whatever. And that's kind of shitty on my half too, because it's like I get your excitement, but just because I don't really care about that aspect anymore, like look around you. I have built this and made this essentially for the community. And like, I think that that I don't want to say it, that the Gone Rogue Games guy, like, he needs to kind of take that perspective too, because his shop looks badass. Like, he has cultivated a community. He has given people this awesome place to come play, to just be nerds, to feel safe. I hate using that word because it sounds like it's just pansy talk, but like, to just be themselves and be around other geeks, nerds that feel the same way and just want to have a place to do that at. Like I keep saying, man, your passion, it evolves into something other than just the game itself. And it becomes something that is even bigger than yourself or the game itself. So I think he's just being like a little too hard on himself, maybe. Maybe struggling with the realization about what I just said, that it just, you lose the passion for the game, but the hobby and the community itself, you end up respecting even more just because you know how important it is and can be to people, so your passion just becomes a different aspect of the hobby. And yeah, like, that being said, at the end of the day, yes, the shop has to make money. You have to make money. That's just the way that it is. Don't look at them as like walking coin purses, because I joke about that with the minions and even with the regulars that come in. It's like, yeah, I just want your money, haha. Like, they know that though, like we can have the greatest conversations and the most respect for each other and all that good stuff, but like at the end of the day, most of them understand that if they just come here and dick off and don't spend anything, I don't exist anymore. Not just me, but any LGS you go to, unless you're part of some kind of fucking national chain or some shit, won't exist unless you spend money. And for some reason, this has become the most controversial thing ever in a business world is, well, my game pieces should only be 20 cents a piece. I should only be able to drop $10 on a deck and be as competitive as... No, dude, like, places like this don't exist unless you do spend money, and in that aspect, when it comes to me, I have to kind of half-ass look at you guys like walking coin purses. And I mean that in the best way possible. And every time I say that, or, so forth and so forth, take a shot. Uh, but without that little relationship, none of this exists. And a lot of you actually do understand that. And it's just the loud minority squeaky wheel part of the internet that is making everyone kind of be like, man, what the fuck? But here's what I've noticed in my years upon years of working is that yes, the squeaky wheel, it does get the grease, but it also gets replaced first. So while your squeakiness might be getting you the attention and the results you need eventually on a long enough timeline, your squeakiness ends up being the end of you, because at a certain point, people get tired of dealing with your shit and just replace you. You end up not existing anymore. Like, I'm sorry if you picked up a hobby that requires you to spend money and you're either on a fixed income or you just don't make enough money to enjoy the hobby, so you complain about it, because people are trying to make money off of it. I got nothing else to say but that. Like, pick something else. Go for walks. I don't know. Collect stamps. Do something else that's not gonna make you when it comes to spending fucking money. So yeah, but anyways, like, I guess that's really about all I've got to say about that whole topic with him and his little ranty video he did. Like, man, it's okay to lose the passion for the game, because like I keep saying, it migrates to other areas, and that's more than acceptable. And if some people have a hard time grasping that and understanding it, and even like being like, okay, cool, man, like, I get it, you don't play anymore, but you want to make sure that shit goes simple and smooth, and there's stuff for me to do, there's stuff for me to buy, there's people for me to talk to, like, that's cool. Like, there should be a certain level of respect, not only on my end, but from like the customer end, to understand that even though the shop might be run by someone like me who doesn't play anymore or whatever, but still respects the fuck out of the person playing and the hobby itself. Like, if you as a customer can't respect that point, and that's the only real gripe you have about some place, and you continue and you refuse to go there because of that, then, you do you, boo-boo, but that is a really shitty way to act. So yeah, just, man, it is what it is sometimes, guys, and again, I'm speaking in generalities here because I know there's unicorns on both ends of the spectrum, but for the most part, just enjoy your fucking hobby, dude. If you don't like the way that Magic is going with Universes Beyond, then don't play with Universes Beyond, or drop Magic like a bad habit and go do something else. And that goes for any card game as well. Like, if you don't like the direction that Pokemon is going or Yu-Gi-Oh is going, then drop that shit and go pick up something else. Life is way too fucking short for you to be overzealous with cardboard. It's as simple as that. If you are no longer like enjoying it, even the least bit, and you're just constantly like, I hate this game. This game is too expensive. Why do I keep? Just step away for a bit. Step away for a bit, and just go enjoy your life. Go do something else. But yeah. So, anyways, I think I'm done ranting on that one. Um, and I get this as well, but dropping a like and a sub on the channel, it helps. I know I'm not Mr. fucking like cohesive thoughts all the time, and I don't have a production budget, and you're probably hearing shit in the background like the card sorter going and the door is open, and I don't have a professional background or whatever, but like, dude, it is what it is. This is a reality of what owning a shop is. I Without you guys subbing and liking and commenting and all that good stuff, there's no way in hell I can even try to grow this channel to be monetized. There's that mean word again, to help keep this place going. And I know from watching other people in this realm, there are those of you out there that just enjoy this raw, unbiased, unfiltered aspect of the industry. I don't care about, you know, I don't know, how can I say this? Like, I don't care what most people feel about something. Like, I'm just going to tell you how it is, how I perceive it, and if you agree or disagree, that's fine. We can talk about it. Tell me I'm a piece of shit in the comments or dislike it or whatever. I really don't care. But from me talking to other people and other people who own businesses like this and everything else that I've read and watched, a lot of them feel kind of the same way that I do, but a lot of them don't want to go in public and say some of the shit that I do because they're just fucking scared. But yeah, so if you enjoy my unfiltered, raw, fucking ramblings and outlooks on things, please drop a sub, a like, help me get this shit up there so we can start monetizing this channel and make the shop a better place. Like, it's as simple as that. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. All the social links will be in the comment section below as well. Follow us on those. Don't forget the Patreon exists. If you're local, sign up at the $10 plus stuff. Get your 10% discount. If you're not local, I'll ship shit out to you. And just, you know, give me a hand. Like, if you like the way that I just respect the hobby and respect the community and all that good stuff in general, and despite not playing anymore, still want to give to the overall community and hobby itself, then, you know, help a motherfucker out. Until then, as I always like to say, life is not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. And just enjoy yourselves, man. You guys be safe out there, and hopefully I will talk to you later.